In today's episode, I load up my 5-year-old show-jumping mare to embark on a month-long adventure in Valencia, Spain, where we will be spending the next 30 days prepping for our first CSI Young Horse FEI competitions. The clock is ticking, but will we be ready in time? Stay tuned. So I'm in my tack room and I have a lot of packing to do. I'm leaving literally tomorrow with Zafira and I have packed nothing. We basically organized this whole thing within a week. So I have a lot to go through and do before the horse box comes tomorrow to pick up my horse. My name is Coach Krystal Kelly and I am from a very small town in California. I did not grow up with horses. My parents didn't know anything about horses. I didn't have access to horses. In fact, growing up, I could only afford to take 2 riding lessons a month. I think I was probably, 8 or 9 years old, and I knew I was gonna be a show jumper when I grew up. And no one knew where I got that from. You know, both of my parents were in law enforcement and the military. In this high school form, you know, the options for jobs were to become a doctor or a lawyer. You know, there's an architect box or a veterinarian box, but there was no show jumping box. But I knew since I was very young that I was going to grow up and I was going to be a show jumper. A year ago, I invested in a 4-year-old warm blood to train to be my FEI competition horse for myself and my American clients who wish to hire my horses to experience the European show jumping circuit firsthand. Since I do most of my coaching nowadays virtually, Zafira was going to be my demo horse for my international clients taking part in my various online coaching programs and following along on her exact training plans. Our last ride before our big adventure. I think Zafira is going to be a completely different horse in a couple of months. So Zafira is 5 years old now, and I have been working really hard on developing her foundation and fundamentals with poles and now with jumps. And Zafira is actually ready, right? I actually deem her ready to start bumping up her training and start jumping more. And so I've done something kind of different. I have organized within the past week or so a spontaneous training adventure for Zafira and I. Tomorrow, a horse box is coming to actually take Zafira for the first time off of our beautiful property. And Zafira and I are actually going to be traveling to Valencia here in gorgeous Spain for the next 1 month. Zafira and I are going to be based in Valencia at this gorgeous equestrian facilities to start leveling up and practicing our jumping. Zafira's been really good. She's gotten a lot more adjustable and accurate when it comes to poles on the ground or even cavalettes. She's been building a lot more confidence, but the one thing that's missing right now is being able to put it all together over jumps, and especially jumps over 1 meter. Anything less than a meter, Zafira's really comfortable. They're pretty easy jumps for her, so you know she can kind of fake it till she makes it over anything smaller than a meter. But anything 1 meter plus, Zafira is still kind of struggling with seeing her distances. I don't always have 100% adjustability approaching the fence, only because Zafira's default right now is to get really close to the jumps. And so now I'm really having to work with Zafira on building that trust and relationship and partnership with me over a course to be able to bring her back, adjust her, and help her see and understand where her spot actually is. A year ago when I bought her, I'd say that Zafira and I were like 50-50. So when we would approach a fence, 50% of the time it would be good, 50% of the time the spot was not that good. And now I feel like we've kind of progressed to around, let's say 70% of the time the spot is good. And then the other 30% of the time, you know, the spot's not great. So she's definitely improving. We have more to go and more to improve, but I've already signed her up for her very first FEI competition in December. So we have 30 days of intense training, which we're going to be doing in Valencia. And then after that, we're immediately going to go to the competitions in Spain, the FEI competitions, where she will be jumping in the 1.15 meter classes. So we got a lot of work to do. I don't expect it to be perfect. I mean, she's 5 years old at the end of the day. My biggest goal for Zafira over the next month in our training is to just get a little bit more miles. Okay, I want to get a bit more miles under our belt, jumping courses, jumping jumps at height. We've jumped jumps at height, but only, single fences, let's say, or in grids. We haven't really had a course environment at that height. So I want to start jumping Zafira more courses. She definitely needs some help with her combinations, being able to see those spots and distances, and just getting her the miles and exposure that she needs to a competition-like environment, away from the comfort of her home and her big sisters, Lily and Q, and just getting her ready as much as humanly possible for the next 30 days to prepare her for the competitions that are happening in December. So the next 60 days for us is going to be a bit of a whirlwind. I think by this time in January, Zafira and I are going to be like completely different than where we are now. We're going to have more experience, better mileage, and I think hopefully she's going to really enjoy her new career as a show jumper, and I'm going to find out what Zafira is made of. Right? I know what I'm made of, but I haven't quite figured Zafira out yet. I haven't put her in that challenging environment yet. I don't know if she's competitive. I don't know, right? So I'm going to find out what kind of partnership and relationship we're going to be building over the next couple of months, and I'm going to find out what Zafira is made of, which is what I'm most excited about. Today's the day. We have a horse box on the way coming to pick up Mrs. Zafira here. There's Lily and Q hiding in the stall. So yeah, she's enjoying her final moments with her sisters before we head over to Valencia to start our month of training, and then after that our month of competitions. What do you think, Zafira? Huh? You ready to grow up? So the packing, of course, took place literally today. I still have to load her saddle, and hi Bandy. Still have to load up her saddle and saddle pads and bridle and whatnot. But yes, I have essentially cleaned out the tack room, and we are loading up and gonna be on our way very shortly.
Good girl. So Zafira just loaded into the box with another horse. There's Lily and Q thinking about what happened. Zafira wasn't quite sure what's gonna happen, so she didn't jump into the box right away. Let's say that. Bye bye, Zafira. She's off to training camp.
So at the moment, all of my stuff is just thrown around. So I'm gonna have to get some chairs and some things apparently. So I'm on Zafira. We just finished our first ride together at our new home for the next month. She's looking around, kind of spooking at the banners. I jumped her a small little X just to move her around. So she's kind of spooking at the banners, and there's like palm trees in the corner, and there's a tent where they usually have like shops during the competitions, which is blowing around in the wind. So she's definitely really looky. And kind of spooking a little bit, didn't want to go in the corners, but actually considering this is her first time doing something like this, I'm actually pretty impressed with her and pretty happy with how she's going. So yeah, this is a big, huge arena. It's a lot bigger than ours back at home, so you know, one lap of this for Zafira is like 5 in our in our arena. So yeah, I think we have a lot of work to do, but I'm actually really happy with this experience so far. I mean, it's literally just day 1, so I'm excited for our adventure. Zafira's in her little sand paddock after our long ride. Still day 1. So yeah, it's a bit of a downgrade for Zafira to go from 5 hectares or 12 acres to this little paddock. But anyways, she's seems to be happy and doing good. Okay, I had to move her paddock. She's got a neighbor now. Got a couple of neighbors. Doesn't seem too bothered. Good girl. Morning. So it's been our first full 2 days here at the new stables. I've already jumped her a couple of times. My husband Christian came out yesterday to help. He brought a few things over from the from our stables, which we had forgot or didn't realize that we actually needed to bring those things. So he came by yesterday, helped me jump her a little bit, just a single fence, just to kind of pop her over something, just 1 meter, just to kind of, again, show her the new digs, basically. But yeah, she's settling in. She was still a little bit spooky yesterday, so we walked her around like the whole property together. It helped having my husband here to help with that stuff. But for the most part, I mean, she's pretty okay. Like, if that's the worst that she does, then I'm not too worried about it. It's not ideal for like jumping a course in a competition, so we still have a long ways to go on that front. But I mean, you know, all in all, I mean, she's 5 years old. This is her first big adventure, so I'm actually pretty impressed with her. I'm pretty happy with how she's doing. This week I'm going to start jumping her a little bit more. We definitely need to work on a couple of things while I'm here. One of the things is I kind of see one distance and she sees a different distance. She wants to get really deep to the jumps. She doesn't like chip in a stride or something, but she tends to get quite deep into the jumps. So that's something that we're going to be kind of working on together, and also just kind of like getting the flow of things and getting like as much jumping in as we possibly can while we are here and we have the beautiful facilities. So yeah, that's kind of the update, the final update for the first 2 days that she's been here at the new place. So I just got done riding little baby Zafira. Today is Wednesday. We came on Saturday. She had Monday off. Today I just did some flat work, some dressage with her. I'm working on, basically it's time for little baby Zafira to grow up. So I'm working on really improving her fitness and getting her to work quite hard in the dressage. I mean, we were working hard before, but I wasn't really like pushing her too much. So now I'm riding her, you know, in this big, huge, massive arena for an hour. I'm trotting her for like 30 minutes, cantering her for like 20. It's hard work for her. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work for her. So, you know, she's upping her training plan and upping her game a little bit. And I'm gonna go grab some dinner quickly and then come back and feed her and then be done for the day. So yeah, all in all, I mean, I'm super happy with her. She's struggling on the left because she had this joint injury a couple months ago. So the left canter, she's really struggling. So that's kind of where I spent some extra time today, was lots of circles, lots of love on that left side, and just trying to get her to stay within my legs and not drift sideways. You know, here in this big arena, there isn't a rail to kind of catch her or keep her. So that's why I'm, you know, really kind of fighting with her with that. But, you know, it's coming, right? It doesn't happen in a day. So we're improving, working on that, more to improve. But I'm super excited with her results so far, and I think that she's enjoying her time here, even though everything's still new and spooky and as I said, she's increasing her training plan and her work. So yeah. Just finished my ride on little Zafira. It's like 40-50 kilometer an hour winds outside. It's pretty crazy. I actually was thinking to ride outside because I really wanted to jump today, and I went to go set up the jumps and the wind just kept knocking them over, and I said nope. And then a little sandstorm happened when I went to go catch Zafira from the outside paddock. So it's pretty windy out. So thankfully where I am training there is a beautiful indoor, but as you can see it's open on 3 sides, and on this side the sand keeps blowing. I have, I think, sand in my teeth. I really want to brush my teeth now. So yeah, I didn't jump today, which was my plan, but I did go over some poles, and man, she's doing really good. I mean, even with the wind sounds and the shaky tints from the bleachers, I mean, she's looky, but she's really not that bad. So this horse continues to impress me every single day. And yeah, we just did poles today, but you know what? I'm super happy with her. So we are gonna end the session on a good note. Finished my ride. Zafira's put away. Sorry, I have like major helmet hair. What is this, Krystal? Show jumper life. I hate keeping Zafira in a stall. Like, she's used to living outside at our place, but it's just so windy out. All the horses are inside, and she obviously doesn't want to be separated from her friends either. So she's just gonna have to spend the day in the stall, which is fine. I mean, during the competitions, unfortunately, for those 3 weeks we're competing in the FEI classes next month, she has to be in a stable the whole 3 weeks. They don't have any paddocks or anything. So yes, I'll be riding her and getting her out, but unfortunately the rest of the time she's gonna be in a stall. So I guess it's just one of those things. So anyways, she doesn't seem too upset about it.